Hey there everyone, how are you doing? Joe Marin here from MobileCupOfJoe.com. In this episode of MobileCupOfJoe, I'm going to be giving you my full video review of the Lenovo IdeaTab S2110. The IdeaTab S2110 is essentially Lenovo's answer to ASUS's Transformer line of Android tablets with its keyboard docking station. So is the Lenovo IdeaTab S2110 still a liable competitor in the crowded Android tablet market? Let's find out right now in this video review. But guys, before we go any further, please go ahead and grab that coffee cup, fill it up, bring it over, and sit on down. And take a swig for a Mobile Cup of Joe. Alright, before we get too far into this review, I'd like to give a big thank you to our friends over at Lenovo for hooking us up with the Lenovo IdeaTab S2110 and other Lenovo products. It's because of companies like Lenovo that send us their products to test out and unbox and review for you guys, our fans. So thank you, Lenovo, for the IdeaTab S2110, and let's get started with this review. So as with all of our reviews, we always talk about the design and build quality of the products first, and we start that off by taking a quick little tour around the device. So on the front you see we have our 10.1 inch display it's an IPS display with a pixel resolution of 1280 by 800. Below that we have our Lenovo logo, and at the top right there we have our 1.3 megapixel front facing camera. On the bottom of the device we have our micro USB syncing / charging port, and to the left and right of that we have our docking ports for our keyboard docking station, which we'll get into a bit later. At the top of the device, we have our microphone pinhole and our power / lock button. On the left of the device, we have got our mini HDMI port, a 3.5mm headphone jack, and our speaker. And on the right side, we have our volume rocker, and above that, we have another speaker, but I'm not sure if you can see it. I really like the placing of the speakers on the device. They're raised a bit higher than they usually are, so when you're holding the device in two hands, you're not going to accidentally cover up the speakers very easily. So I really liked how they placed those out. Now on the back of the product, we have got our Lenovo logo and our 5 megapixel rear-facing camera with LED flash. The back material is made of plastic, and although it is plastic, it tends to attract a bit of fingerprints. Not a whole lot, but it does attract some, which is kind of odd. The front of the device is also a huge fingerprint magnet. We just cleaned this out before we reviewed it, and it's already starting to attract a lot of fingerprints. While all devices do attract their fair share of fingerprints through day-to-day use, we found that this one did attract a bit more than we usually find. Now this product, it looks like it would be heavy if you're laying it down on the back like that. It looks like it might be a beast to pick up, but it's actually considerably light, weighing in at only 20.46 ounces. Also, overall, I was really pleased with the design and build quality of the Lenovo IdeaTab S2110. It felt like a really great device to hold in the hand. It was actually surprisingly comfortable for a 10-inch Android tablet. It felt good in the hand, like if you're laying down on a couch or something and streaming Netflix or YouTube video content or playing a game. It felt really good in your hand, and it's not going to wear it down to the point where your hand's going to get tired holding the device. So now we're going to move on to some hardware specifications of the Lenovo IdeaTab S2110. So to start that out, we're going to run a quadrant standard benchmark test on the product. We're going to launch that, and we're going to run a full benchmark. And while that's doing its thing, we're going to talk about the specs inside of here in terms of processing capabilities. So under the hood of the Lenovo IdeaTab S2110, you've got a dual-core 1.5 GHz Qualcomm Snapdragon S4 processor along with 1 GB of RAM. While those aren't the most impressive hardware specifications, at least in terms of processing power at this day and age in 2013, from our testing it was still a very capable processor. After the quadrant finishes its benchmark testing, we'll get into that a little bit. So it runs at a pretty smooth 50-60 frames per second. You saw when it turned the corner, it lagged down to around 30. We saw this too on the Optimus G, which was the last product we reviewed, and that had a quad-core processor. So it handles graphics and all your day-to-day tasks very, very nicely. If you're just going to use this for streaming video content or listening to some music, browsing the web, checking your email, it'll be a very capable processor. There's the word, and we're going to finish our results. And we'll turn it, and you can see that we got a score of 4,664, with the HTC One X actually a little bit above it. So it is a capable processor. As you can see, it's not the fastest in the market, but it will still get the job done. For an example, for a quick game, let's launch Temple Run. So you can just get an idea for how fast it launches some of your day-to-day applications and how it runs them, at least in terms of performance. So you see it loaded up actually fairly quickly, faster than we've seen on a lot of products with dual-core processors. So after it loads that, turn our volume down to make sure it's not blazing, if I can find our volume. No thanks, that doesn't matter. So you can see that it's running pretty smooth. We'll slide up to jump. You are going to get, well, terrible Temple Run player, as you can tell. You are going to get smoother experiences on a lot of the newer products out there, but this is still a very smooth operating, or not operating system, it's a very smooth processor. You can see with my very talented and excellent Temple Run skills that it is keeping up with the game just fine. Like I said, you are going to get some faster experiences out there on some of the newer products, but for your day-to-day games, such as Temple Run, etc., different games like that, it runs just fine. We actually played Frontline Commando on here, which is a very graphically intensive application or game, and it ran beautifully. While it did take a little bit to actually load up the application, when we were finally into it and we got into a match, it ran just very smooth. I was actually pleasantly surprised with the performance on the S2110, even though it only has a dual-core processor. Now, one of the downsides of the S2110 is actually its screen resolution. The S2110 has an IPS display with a pixel resolution of 1280 by 800 and with 149 ppi, or pixels per inch. We saw the 1280 by 800 resolution on the Nexus 7. While 1280 by 800 is a good resolution for form factors of 7 inches and under, on 10 inches it just looks kind of ugly. As you can see right here, not sure how well the camera lens is going to pick it up, but the colors aren't that well saturated. They look okay, but you are definitely going to get some higher resolution quality in terms of screen resolution on some other products out there. I don't know if you can see it on here, but the wallpaper, one of the stock wallpapers Lenovo includes, actually looks really blurry. Even not holding it up close, just holding it from a good distance away, still looks very blurry. You can see two icons look a bit fuzzy and not really clean at all. If you go to your app drawer, you can see that your app icons look blurry there just as well. If you're just a normal consumer and you have not seen a lot of the newer displays out there for screen sizes, this may not affect you a whole lot, but if you've seen some of these screen resolutions out there that are especially 720p HD, 1080p HD, you will see a noticeable drop in resolution here, especially if you've used the Retina display on any of Apple's iOS products. You're going to see a major drop in screen resolution. While text is still easy to read and video and pictures still look okay, they're not going to look that great. The pictures actually look quite blurry on here, and it's just not the best screen resolution we've ever seen. Actually, one of the biggest downsides to the device. So this thing also comes equipped with two cameras, one on the front, which is a 1.3 megapixel camera, and on the back we have a 5 megapixel camera with LED flash, which is also capable of recording 720p HD video. Both cameras were okay, but neither one of them are going to blow you away with their quality, but they are decent cameras and they are going to get the job done. There's not a lot of things to say about the cameras. I am not a big fan of having rear-facing cameras on 10-inch tablets, really 7-inch tablets. I just find them very unnecessary. While I didn't really use the rear-facing camera on the IdeaTab S2110 a whole lot, it was nice, a little addition and a little extra to have with the product. Like I said, neither one of them are going to blow you away with their quality, but if you need to take a quick picture or a quick video sample, or you need to take a profile picture or do some video conferencing, they will get the job done and you will be pleased with the results. Now, as terms of battery life, Lenovo is promising around 9 to 10 hours of use with the tablet just standalone, and about 20 hours of use with the optional keyboard dock, which we'll get into in just a second. We found that in our testing, we got around 8 hours of usage time when it was not inserted in the keyboard docking station, and about 18 to 17 hours of use when it was docked. So those are really impressive battery life testing performances, or whatever you want to call them. 17 hours in the keyboard dock is exceptional. That completely blows past the battery life you see on laptops. Granted, this is not a full laptop operating system, but if you do have your keyboard dock, 17 hours is an incredible amount of time. And since we've been talking about the keyboard dock quite a lot, let's go ahead and review that real quick. So we'll zoom out so we can dock our little IdeaTab S2110 into it. So this is the keyboard dock. You can flip it open right here, and then you just simply have to take your tablet and you insert it into the docking station, and you are set to go right there. It feels very good. I was actually pleasantly surprised with the spacing on the keyboard. It feels really great, especially with a 10-inch form factor. I was afraid that'd be very cramped, but although you're not gonna have as much room on the keyboard as you would for your computer or laptop keyboard, it's still spaced out very nicely. The letters and the keys have a good deal of space to them, and it doesn't feel too cramped whatsoever. Along with this keyboard dock, when you aside from an added great typing experience, you're also getting a full SD card slot right here, which is great for added memory, since there is no micro SD card slot in the IdeaTab S2110. So that's good for memory, or if you want to transfer some video or picture content to your device as well. The keyboard docking station also includes 2 full USB charging ports, along with another micro USB syncing/charging port. The micro USB syncing/charging port is used to charge up your docking station, because when your docking station is charged up, it will charge your tablet at the same time, and that's how it's extending your battery life. It's taking the juice from the battery inside the keyboard docking station and transferring it to the one in your tablet. Even if you do run out of battery life on the keyboard, you can still type with it. It'll still type and activate that way no matter what. It just won't charge your device unless there's a charge in the docking station as well. So we'll pop her off of there and set her to the side. And we're going to talk about some software specifications of the IdeaTab S2110. And this is really where the device does have its faults. So the device is running Android 4.0 Ice Cream Sandwich. Let's go into our settings just to confirm the official version of it. You can see right there we have Android version 4.0.3, which is not the latest version of Ice Cream Sandwich. Latest version is 4.0.4. So you can hold it down. You see we've still got our little Nyan Cat Android Ice Cream Sandwich things flying through space. So that's all still great. 4.0 Ice Cream Sandwich is not a terrible version of the Android operating system. It's actually still a very, very capable version of it. Unfortunately, Lenovo has layered it with their own custom skin. As you can see, when you slide through your home screens, this is the thing that I noticed right away. It's got this terrible cube effect that really makes the device very laggy. I wouldn't be so bad if they hadn't included it with the app drawer selection as well, but when you slide through that darned cube effect is still there, even sliding through your widgets as well. It really slows the device down, and I think that it's laggy more because of the skin layered over it, because the gaming performance with the processors is very smooth. So that's why I tend to believe that the lagginess on the home screens is in fault of Lenovo's skin they layered over it and not the processing speeds. So you can see that it is laggy here, but that lagginess does not transfer over to your gameplay. Another thing that I'm not a fan of, what Lenovo did with this, if you go to your app drawer, you see that they included a ton of bloatware. You got games like Backengam, I can never pronounce that, Games, Heart, Solitaire, Spade, some useless applications like that. You've got Papaya Free, Republic News Republic, Norton Security. You've got Vendetta Online, UI Intro, Radio, Xeno, a ton of useless applications on there. They do include some ones that you will find use for, such as Evernote, comes pre-installed ES File Explorer, different things like that. There's just a lot of bloatware on the device, and none of the apps they include on there, such as Vendetta Online or those added games or Evernote, they cannot be deleted. So that is just eating away at the memory you have on your IdeaTab S2110. One thing that I did like about the custom skin Lenovo layered over Ice Cream Sandwich were these widgets at the top right here. You see we've got one for our weather, a calendar one, a clock, and notes. While these may look like simple widgets, what's really cool, say we tap on our calendar one, it will open up to show us a bigger view of what our calendar looks like. And you can swipe through and get this pretty little screen tearing effect when you are swiping through the different months of the year. So that's really nice. You can tap on your weather widget and it'll show you what your week is going to look like with a little 3-day forecast. You can tap on your notes to add more notes. So that's really nice. I do like those added widgets they included. However, I am not a fan of this transition effect with the cube. All the reviews I watched for the Lenovo IdeaTab S2110 said that you could not get rid of this transition effect. However, I found that if you tapped the menu button and you went to Preferences, you can go to Effect Settings and you can change your workspace slide effect in your application flip animation. So if we change that to default, we change this to default as well, and we back out, you can see that that transition effect is gone, but it's still laggy. You can swipe through that. Transition effect is gone, but is also laggy as well. So something with Lenovo's skin really makes your home screen and your app selection drawer a very laggy experience. While it's not like while the skin does not get in the way of your web browsing, video streaming, or application usage, it is a very laggy experience when you're sliding through your home screens in your application drawer. So that brings us to my final verdict of the device. The Lenovo IdeaTab S2110 by itself is selling for around $400, and the keyboard dock is selling for around another $100 or so. You can get the two bundled together for about $480. That's a bit of an expense right there. And you can also get ASUS's Transformer TF300 Android tablet, which has a higher pixel resolution for the screen, Android 4.1 support, and better processors for less money. And that's really one of the biggest faults with the device, aside from its Lenovo skin they layered over Android 4.0. It's a slower process. It's capable processors, not the fastest out there. They are capable, and it's not so fascinating cameras on it. Its price is really the main downside to the device. When you can get ASUS's Transformer TF300 with better hardware specifications, better software specifications, and a better overall design for less money than the Lenovo IdeaTab S2110, it's really not that fair of a competition. This is not a bad tablet by any means, but it's just marred by its terrible price point and Lenovo's custom skin they layered over it. So I'm going to be giving the Lenovo IdeaTab S2110 a 7 out of 10. Like I said before, this is not a bad choice if you're in the market for a new Android tablet. It's just that you can get much better choices out there for less money. So that's it for my review of the Lenovo IdeaTab S2110. Do you agree with my opinion? Do you disagree with my opinion? Comment below in the description below and let me know what you think of the product. And if you go ahead and hit that like button if you liked the video, it takes 1 second to do so. It really helps support the show. And if you want to show your support towards the show even more, why don't you go ahead and hit that subscribe button at the bottom of the screen for more MobileCupOfJoe videos. And you guys all know we are on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter. And we're also on Google Plus too. And don't forget Google Plus too with my voice crack. Every darn video the voice seems to crack. But we are on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, and Google Plus. And don't you forget to check out our website at www.MobileCupOfJoe.com for your latest mobile tech news outside of our videos. I'm Joe Martin from MobileCupOfJoe.com. Thank you so much for watching. Have a wonderful day. And I'll catch you guys in the next video. Bye-bye.